Okay, as a My Hero Academia fan, we're eating very good this recent episode. With Vincent Chansar coming back and animating this breathtaking scene of Bakugo finally awakening the second level to his quirk and taking on All For One. It makes me very happy and fulfilled that they gave our boy Bakugo, a lot of credit and adapted it right. But I just can't help but think, the story kind of didn't know where to place Bakugo. So let me get into it. Because in the beginning, they created him as the peak rival for Deku, right? They made him gifted, not only physically, but he was also very intelligent, okay? Him and Deku go ahead and get drafted into UA, right? The rest is history. The crazy thing is I feel like the author himself kind of just pushed this story way too fast. Because in my opinion, this could have easily been like a generational run. They could have had years of My Hero Academia content if they wanted to just go the route of like, the comics, classic comics, specifically like a One Piece or Spider-Man or Superman or Justice League. They could have easily set this up because they had it. They had it all. But Bakugo's character arc, right, was very intriguing because he had essentially learned humility. He needed to learn how to work together. And then he also had to learn how to believe in himself when he realized he's not the biggest fish in the pond anymore, right? To me, it was like a total mistake having this guy fight the #1 big bad supervillain, which I guess wasn't. It was really Shigaraki. But at the same time, it's like, this should have been Deku. This should have been Deku the whole story. Why are we even talking about Bakugo? Why not just branch off and make him his own series? And that's kind of like the whole situation I'm talking about. It doesn't feel like Bakugo really had a good delivery in the end because he was essentially aimless to start with. Like, his character himself was rival turned friend, turned companion, turned into, competitor, and it kind of just felt like they were circling over and over and over again, where he should have just been a Sasuke, someone who just went on and did their own thing, made their own impact. They could have even went even further and just created a whole manga around him. In my opinion, they could have done that with a lot of the characters. But the My Hero Academia world itself is actually a lot smaller than you thought. As soon as they started branching off and showing, typically the major heroes in Japan, they kind of had to stick to the world, and they limited it a lot because of how broken the quirks were, like the hero from the United States, right? So it was established that it's almost kind of a finite world. It's not like in DC Comics where they have their own cities, or like in Marvel Comics how they have their almost different countries and planets and stuff like that. It was very finite and limited, right? And I really think that the adaptation's great and amazing, but I kind of was still left like, that's it. It's just like, this is the way they defeat All For One. It's just a guy who has an explosion quirk, and it may have been to the case of him being pushed by Izuku, but, it's just like my quarrel of the story is the fact that they just plopped in Bakugo. I feel like they didn't really have a